What if the reason you're stuck is because you talk too much? Not in volume, but in exposure. What if the very people you trust with your thoughts are quietly using them against you? Stick around, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how silence doesn't just protect peace, it commands respect and rewires how the world treats you. If you've ever shared your goals and watched them collapse, if you've opened up only to be judged, mocked, or misunderstood, hit subscribe and stay till the end. This isn't about being cold, it's about being untouchable. And once you understand how silence becomes strategy, you won't just speak less. You'll move smarter, quieter, and with intention others can't anticipate. This video isn't a rant, it's a survival guide for anyone who's tired of being exposed. Because every downfall starts with misplaced trust, not in your enemies, but in your friends. Today, I'll show you 5 things you should never say out loud, unless you want to hand people the knife they'll use to cut you. This isn't paranoia, it's power. The kind that turns privacy into protection. Skill 1. Your next move. You ever notice how plans fall apart the moment you talk about them? You share your business idea, and suddenly, motivation evaporates. You share your fitness goal, and suddenly, discipline collapses. You share your comeback, and out of nowhere, obstacles appear. It's not coincidence, it's not just bad luck, it's psychology. Speaking too soon tricks your brain into feeling accomplished before you've even acted. That dopamine rush, it kills your hunger, it drains your drive. It replaces discipline with illusion. You feel seen, but not supported. You feel excited, but not committed. Because talking about a goal activates the same pleasure centers in the brain as actually achieving it. So your brain gets the reward without the work. And the people listening? They start projecting their fears onto you. Their doubt, their envy, their small thinking. They might mean well, they might not. Doesn't matter. Their energy enters your process. Suddenly your vision gets blurry, your clarity gets polluted. You say, I'm starting something big. They say, really? Why now? Or worse, I don't think that'll work. And just like that, you're doubting yourself over a dream that wasn't even born yet. Real achievers don't announce, they appear. They don't need approval to begin. They don't need applause to continue. They show up with results, not previews. They understand that power grows best in the shadows, watered by discipline, not validation. When people don't know your next move, they can't interfere, can't sabotage, can't drain your energy with their opinions. Your progress is under construction, and construction zones don't allow public access, because privacy isn't secrecy, it's protection. Skill 2, your weaknesses. Every time you share your insecurities, you hand someone the blueprint of how to break you. Tell people you get anxious, and they'll use pressure to shake you. Tell people you hate being ignored, and they'll go silent to control you. Tell people you're sensitive, and they'll aim right at that sensitivity when they're angry. It's human nature. People don't just hear you, they remember you, and they store what you reveal for later, sometimes consciously, sometimes subconsciously. Some people aren't listeners, they're collectors, collectors of secrets, collectors of pain points, collectors of emotional ammo. They'll load up the moment their own ego feels under attack. They don't see your honesty as courage, they see it as an opportunity. You think you're building connection. They think you're giving them leverage. You think you're bonding, they're building a file on you. Vulnerability isn't the problem. The audience is. You don't have to armor up all the time, just be selective about who gets access. Don't vent sideways to people who can't even manage their own mess. Vent upward to mentors, journals, therapists, people who hold space, not judgment. Your silence isn't distance, it's intelligence. Your privacy isn't cold, it's calculated, and those who truly respect you won't need a backstage pass to your every emotion. Skill 3, your income. Nothing exposes character faster than money. Tell someone you're doing well, and watch how their eyes change. Watch the subtle shift in tone, the sudden tension in their smile. Suddenly, the air between you isn't the same. It's heavier. It's charged with competition, jealousy, or silent resentment. Tell someone you're struggling, and just as quickly, the energy changes again. You're no longer their equal. You're someone they pity. Or worse, someone they silently judge. Money doesn't change who you are. It changes the lens others see you through. It activates the deepest insecurities in the people around you. And when those insecurities are triggered, they lash out, not with fists, but with passive aggression, fake support, or subtle withdrawal. They start rooting against you, but in silence, in smiles, in sarcasm. That's why financial privacy isn't just smart, it's essential. Keep your money moves to yourself, not out of shame, not out of arrogance, but out of wisdom, out of awareness, out of peace. Mystery protects value. The more silent you are, the freer you are. Free from comparison, free from pressure, free from expectation. People can't compete with what they can't see. And when there's nothing to prove, you move from pressure to power. Skill 4. Your personal life. Your personal life is not public property. Every argument you share, every emotional bruise you post, every chaotic moment you retell, becomes entertainment for people who weren't meant to witness it. You might forgive, you might grow, you might let go, but the people you told, they don't. They hold on to the version of the story that suits their own narrative. They don't see your healing, they only remember your chaos. They don't see your growth, they remember your lowest moment. And some people don't want you to evolve because they liked you better broken, more predictable, more relatable, easier to understand. There are people who crave your drama because it distracts them from their own. They call it concern, but it's curiosity. They say, I'm just checking in, but they're just checking the score. They don't want updates, they want access. Stop handing out front row seats to a story that's still being written. Protect your peace like the most expensive thing you own, because it is. The strongest relationships aren't the loudest. They don't live online. They don't need applause. They thrive in privacy, in spaces that feel sacred, not shared. Privacy isn't hiding, it's honoring. It's saying, this part of my life is too real, too valuable, too tender for public display. And the people who truly care about you will never ask for proof. They'll feel your peace, and that's all the confirmation they need. If everything you're hearing feels uncomfortably true, good. That's your old self losing its grip. Comment quiet power, not for the algorithm, but as a promise that you're done being exposed. Skill 5. Your good deeds you help, you give, you show up. But the moment you talk about it, something shifts. The energy, the intention, the purity. You turn your kindness into performance. Your generosity into branding, and people can feel the shift, even if they never say a word. Loud givers want applause. Silent givers want impact. And impact doesn't need a microphone. It needs authenticity, integrity, stillness. The moment your good deed becomes content, it starts to rot. Not always on the outside, but at the root. Silent service is the highest level of strength. Let your actions echo louder than your explanations. Let your choices speak without needing captions. Let the lives you change be your legacy, not your PR. Real kindness, it doesn't need a witness. It doesn't ask for claps. It asks for courage. The courage to serve even when no one's looking, even when no one thanks you, even when no one claps. Bonus skill, your love life. Love isn't a group activity. It's not a community project. It's a sacred contract between two souls, and the more hands that touch it, the faster it falls apart. Every opinion you invite in, every friend you update, every follower you include, pulls another thread from a bond that was meant to be intimate. People will weigh in from the outside without understanding the inside. They'll project, they'll assume, they'll judge based on snapshots, not the full picture. And without realizing it, you start adjusting your relationship based on how it's perceived, not how it's felt. If you want love to last, protect it. Let your peace be visible, not your private moments. Let your energy be noticed, not your details. The best relationships are hidden, not because they're weak, but because they're sacred. Your love is not a storyline, it's not a trend, it's a life. Protect it like one. Every downfall in your life has one root: overexposure. You handed people the blueprint, then felt betrayed when they destroyed the foundation. But you're not here to be understood. You're not here to be available 24/7. You're here to be unshakable. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is armor. Silence is strategy. Silence is power. The less they know, the less they can use. The less they see, the less they can attack. The less they hear, the more they wonder. And in that wonder is where your advantage lives. You don't need to defend your quiet. You need to master it, because the lion doesn't explain his roar. He moves, and everything listens. If you made it here, you already know. Your peace, your goals, your love, your mind, they aren't public property, they're passwords. And not everyone deserves access. Rewatch this when you feel like oversharing. Send it to the friend who drains themselves by talking too much. Then hit the next video, where I'll teach you how emotional control turns you into someone who can't be shaken, broken, or manipulated. Noise is everywhere, but true power? True power is quiet.